So, about a month ago, there was a terrible car accident in Washington, D.C. But unfortunately, it was actually turned out to be much worse than just a car accident with a couple of totaled cars. This was a scene of a shooting. It's still unsolved. 16-year-old Kassius-Kohn Glay was shot and killed in the aftermath or during that accident. Still unclear exactly what happened. He was just 16 years old, and we've seen way too much of this across the country. Now, his mother, Juanita Culbreth, and father will join us in a moment, Kohn Glay. But Juanita spoke to local media. So much sorrow over her son, and a bit of anger about the current conversation in America.
All this Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. I want Black lives to really matter. Like, our community have to be held accountable as a whole. We have to do more for these kids. We can't just keep letting this go on.
Juanita Culbreth joins us, the mother of Kassius, and Kohn Glay, the father of Kassius. Welcome to you both. I am so sorry for your loss. Welcome to Newsmax. Juanita, we heard you on the news there, the local news. Do you still feel that way?
Absolutely.
What?
I still feel that same way.
What are Americans not talking about that they should be talking about when it comes to violence across America?
So if I may, I think I also agree with Juanita's comments, but there's also a larger scope. I think collectively as a nation, we have to start caring when this happens. I think it's easy for us to kind of look at this as, oh, it's a Black community problem, or it's just the dad or the mom that lost their kid. And sometimes we run this narrative that puts it in a certain perspective. But the reality is, collectively, if this nation does not care when this happens, then the commentary from the sideline for people that are not involved, that do care, doesn't impact our mission and our goal.
Well, let me run this by you. Juanita mentioned Black Lives Matter, and we've been talking about it a lot across the country. But the movement, Black Lives Matter, seems to only care, only spend money, media attention is only there when a Black life is taken by a white cop. For instance, and I think this is very unfortunate, your son, Kassius-Kohn Glay, is not a big story, and it probably should be much bigger. Kohn, how do you feel about that?
So I don't think that's a criticism of Black Lives Matter. We've had many community organizers reach out to us and give us support in ways where they weren't seeking media attention and they weren't seeking the spotlight. So I don't think that's a direct criticism of them. I think it's a collective criticism of this nation. Now, part of Juanita's comments was the fact that we are engaged in the community, and we want to see those people in our community actually start to do more. We want that. But the reality also lies that this nation has to start to care and not just take a narrative and try to paint a picture of these young lives so that we can excuse the fact that we don't care.
Well, what's the narrative? Well, I'll get to that in a second, if you don't mind, Kohn. And for either of you, I'd like to know a little bit more about Kassius, what he was like, what were his hobbies, and again, I'm so sorry that he's gone, but what was Kassius like?
Kassius is a smart, very smart, intelligent boy. Some would even call him a nerd. He's so smart, loving, caring, very respectful all the time. Kassius loved to help people, always helping someone, always bringing children home for me to help. Very smart. Kassius has so many goals.
I shared this at his funeral. When Kassius was born, we knew that he was unique. Yep. And he had a destiny for something great. We would have never imagined that it would manifest this way, but we understand that. And we embrace that responsibility, that Kassius's passing is not the end of Kassius's legacy. In fact, it's the beginning. So we're dedicating ourselves to creating opportunities for other young people so that their lives don't have to end this way.
How do we do that? How does this? That's a big one. That's a big one to tackle. Obviously, how do we start?
I think it starts with where I was just speaking. It's easy to critique an organization like Black Lives Matter about the passing of my son. But the commitment to making sure that the circumstances that create that to happen, there's no commitment there from this nation. It is not a criticism on one group of a political party. Everyone has to collectively care about young Black lives being lost in the streets of this country. It's not even about a movement. Everyone can create these slogans and these ideas that only divide us. That's not our agenda with our son's passing. Yep. We're reaching out to people of all races, nationality, ages, political perspective, and saying, these are young lives. They're dying. This nation has enough resources, whether it be understanding socially why this is happening, whether it be understanding psychologically what is happening. I mean, we have the history that points us to why Black communities ended up this way. So we have all that we need to make the difference as a nation. But this entire nation has to care. Well, until that happens, the ideas and the people that have the ideas and the resources won't come together as a nation. But we are dedicated as the parents that have lost this child to collect and network with people from everywhere that are dedicated to making sure that we create opportunities for other young people so they don't lose their lives this way.
We can save other families from going through this pain that we've had to go through.
We know that this is...
And I want to make this clear also.
Sure.
When I say I'm angry at the community, not everyone, because there's organizations that, as Khan said, that has been to our home, that have sent their condolences even prior to Kassius passing away. But we can't just have us, this set of parents, and a couple of organizations trying to help all the children. Everybody have to be on the same page. We all have to be on board. And with Kassius passing, as Khan said, we're committed and dedicated to helping as many children as we can from losing their lives and helping another family from not having to go through this pain.
We are so sorry that you are going through this pain. I will gently point out it's actually rather difficult in our culture today to criticize the Black Lives Matter organization, the organization, and some of us have questioned the fairness and their values. And I think you can have that conversation. But I want to emphasize immediately right now there's something we can do. A GoFundMe page has been set up to benefit. Here it is, the Kassius-Kohn Coming Home Memorial Fund. And we're glad that we have exceeded the goal there so far. But we know that a million different expenses pop up at times like this. And it sounds like you've got ambitions to turn this horrible tragedy maybe someday into something positive. Juanita,
absolutely.
And I wish you the best. Stay in touch. Let us know if Newsmax can be of any help. Juanita Colbreth and Kohn Glay. And again, our condolences for the loss of your 16-year-old son, Kassius-Kohn Glay. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you. We appreciate the opportunity, and we want to extend an email address to anyone that would like to join us in this mission of saving these young people and actually doing the work. It's longlivecassius@gmail.com. All the words spelled out, and his name is Kassius, longlivecassius@gmail.com. Join us. We don't care where you're from. If you have compassion and you have a love and you want to help to save these young lives, we're willing and open to work with you.
longlivecassius@gmail.com. I'll make sure we put that on the Newsmax Twitter so people can go there, and it's right there on the screen. All the best. Stay in touch. We'll be back soon, and thank you.
Thank you.